Alright, making a video. Yeah, feeling a little bit better. 25% anyway. So, various subjects, just because there's stuff happening, and might as well comment on some of it. It's always kind of, it's just more stuff that happens doing this communication thing. Anyway, so on the what the fuck the video, there's been a couple of people complaining about the background images. And it's been all summer. It's been the last 3 years I've been doing this. You can't get over it yet? And again, I'll make the argument that I wonder if these same critiques would take place if it was a woman. And I wonder if people have any, just like I said, just how it annoys them. Do they have any appreciation how it might annoy, you got to figure that some of these people complaining are complaining from their own, resentments, for their own, lack of condition. And you'd wonder whether they'd be just as petty. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So anyway, just read this one. The bad visuals outweigh any good concepts you may have. So right there, you're just saying, well, how can that even be possible? I mean, it's really not that difficult to scroll the screen down. And does that mean that everybody who does a video, like if they have just a static image, do you find the static image incredibly compelling? That for 10 minutes you can look at this static image and it just totally, does something with your brain and it matters in some matter or something? No, of course not. So don't play this game that it matters. If you don't like the background image, don't watch the video. You just listen to it then. It's not difficult to do. So anyway, and I provide MP3s for all the videos. So this just seems a lame argument. And even if I hated somebody, I hated the way they look, I hated their background images, I hated everything they did, but they were saying something relevant to me, why the fuck would I give a damn? So again, if you're going to make this critique, you might as well just say, I hate your videos. Okay, because obviously you have no appreciation for the content if you're worried about the background images. I mean, if you're worried about the background images, you haven't even paid any attention to the content. Because the content is about the fact that there are very few, the things that matter in the world, there's a short list, and they matter a lot. And all this other crap doesn't make any difference. It's all bullshit. And here you are coming on my video telling me somehow bullshit matters, and the stuff that's vitally important, the truth of what existence is, you're saying is somehow controlled by peripheral nonsense. And you're going to let it control you. And you're going to say that you have some respect for my video content? No, you obviously have no respect for it. So you're just a troll. You're just somebody who gives no shit about anything I ever said, because you paid no attention to anything I ever said. So yeah, go fuck one of your parakeets and die. Anyway, no one wants to see you obviously showing off your crotch, old man. Regardless, that's not exactly what I'm doing, but yes, crotches, I have one. And yeah, see, something you wouldn't understand. But yeah, when you're not a big fat ass, your crotch gets bigger because, proportionally, it doesn't, change. It doesn't get fat. So if like you're really fat, your crotch doesn't get bigger. Yeah, proportionally. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. It works with boobs, but it doesn't really work with crotch. Idiot. You make us sick. You make us sick. Wasn't that interesting? Who is the us you're speaking for? Could you give me the list of the fucking us's? Just for the sake of, so I have the us list. Just so I know who just is made sick. Because maybe I want to make you sick, frankly. I mean, there are people who need to be made sick. So maybe you need it. It'll do you some good. Anyway, Jesus fucking Christ. Well, whatever. At least in Anticontivad's opinion, maybe a little suffering will give you a little humility and give you enough character to be able to scroll a video down. Yeah. Wow, that took a lot of work. Wow, I had to scroll. Ooh. You could amuse yourself reading comments while you listen to my video. Comments by other parakeet molesters. Wouldn't that be more fun? Anyway, so I just made a, kind of a trolly comment. Tell the truth. How fat are you? Because really, that's, the bottom line. That's what it's about. These are just people who just don't want to realize just how bad a shape they're in. because some 53-year-old guy looks okay for 53. And you know, I don't. This obviously this can't go on much longer, right? I mean, this is the end of my, you know, before I transition into the true old man status, and yeah, so I'm going to wallow in a bit of it. Fuck you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I want to do it. Okay, and really, if it's going to bother you, then just don't watch the videos. I don't think you have watched them. Is really the point, right? You really haven't watched any of them anyway. You haven't listened to any of them. Maybe you're like a bird, you just watch stuff. You are deluded to assume one has to be fat to find your videos hard to watch. Prove it. Yeah, you didn't answer the simple question, couldn't answer it. Right? So I assume you're super fat, right? Because you wouldn't answer the question. You are one sad, sick, and tremendously gay human being. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, I like being called gay, to tell you the truth. I mean, you know, realistically, I am really gay, okay, as a person. Just my penis isn't gay. My penis is totally straight, and so that's the, you know, there's a little bit of conflict between us. And so, yeah, that's the problem. So I don't think I'm officially gay, because, you know, I think the penis has to be gay. But, yeah, otherwise I'm pretty gay. So, fuck you, bigot. Yeah. Go jerk off to yourself in private, perhaps. Well, whatever, private. You know, what's the difference nowadays, right? What are you hiding from? What are you afraid of? What about us should be private in the first place? Why do you need your privacy? Oh, it's because you're doing something creepy and embarrassing? Huh? Is that why? I mean, really, the whole concept of privacy was invented out of what? Shenanigans, most likely. Shenanigans. You need privacy because, yeah, you were fucking your neighbor's wife, or you're molesting your kids, or you're doing some other bullshit. It's shenanigans, shenanigans, shenanigans. So, I mean, you know, this idea of privacy isn't even a Jesus concept, in the sense that, you know, well, we're getting into the Jesus shit when we move on to the next video. Anyway, the vast majority of our audience doesn't want to see your crotch, I promise you. Well, then they shouldn't watch me swim in a pool, because yes, my crotch is attached to me when I'm swimming in a pool, and so they might see it. Yeah. And it's, you know, it is an interesting feature. I have to concede. I like looking at people's crotches. I mean, it is sort of interesting. So, yeah, so my preferences can't be my preferences. So if I like something, I'm not allowed to like it. So if I absolutely hated parakeets, I could tell you, get that fucking creepy little bird off that icon. I hate that fucking shit, you cunt. And that'd be fair. I can force you to change your icon because it's revolting to me. Is that what you're saying? That should make sense to you. I'll tell you to change your icon because I find it revolting. And look at this guy. Sorry, but he's right. Your videos are increasingly hard to watch. I just scroll down and then just listen. Well, there, you found a solution, and you're still complaining, shithead. And but yeah, here's this ugly looking icon, you know, like apple with teeth and tongue out. It's offensive, it's gross, it's disgusting. Change that. I don't like it. I don't like it. Therefore, you must change it, because it's not my cup of tea. That's what you're saying, shithead. So change your icon to something I like. Or else I'll rag on you, and complain on you, and piss on you, because I'm a little petty weasel. Oh, that's right, I'm not. Yeah, unlike you fat, petty fucks, I have integrity. And I wouldn't even think of doing something like that, because I'm not an asshole. Stupid cunts. So go away, silly people. So anyway, Rational Access did make the point that the MP3s are right there, and these little weasels should get a life. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, really, I'm not saying this is brilliant. I'm not saying this is anything. I'm saying this is what I decided to do, because this is part of my life, and it means something to me. It doesn't have to mean anything to you. It can be revolting to you. And again, that's why there's MP3s, and that's why there's audio on video. And you just don't watch the video. I mean, amazing. But anyway, you can't find something better to whine about. I mean, that's really quite amazing, actually. So anyway, so then we'll move on to, you know, Conference Board did a video. Let me do that one next. So I have this little menu box thing that collects all these comments, you know, which is kind of interesting. Are you still using the flip camera? Well, quite obviously, that's what, I mean, I don't think he put an iPhone on the ground to have a horse, almost step on it. So he uses the flip when, he can afford to destroy the camera. I think that's the game. But anyway, people can't even figure that shit out on their own. Campbell Barker makes an idiotic comment on. So this is another subject. Well, let me do this Hannibal. Let me do this Luddite Returns. But there's another guy talking about this whole Christian black thing, and this is just so lame. I mean, these are all people that really they admit they can't even call themselves atheists. So that's what makes this really funny. But yeah, they have all this empathy for the Christian religion, and I mean, nobody should be a Christian, and it's really humiliating for people who were abused by the nonsense in this white man's religion. This religion that basically declared them subhuman. I mean, blacks in the Bible basically weren't even covered under the do unto others as you would have others do unto you, right? Right? I mean, the slave owners obviously didn't consider blacks somebody they had to do unto others as, right? Because they obviously wouldn't want to be enslaved, for no good reason, because of their skin color. I mean, it's ludicrous. So, I mean, I make the comparison to like American Indians, Native Americans, who, they have a nation and this kind of stuff, and instead of creating like research facilities or something, or doing something really brilliant, what do? They start running gambling halls. And where's the integrity in that? Where's the being a human being, by the Indian standard, in that bullshit? Isn't that an embarrassment? Isn't that them selling completely out? Yeah, that's what it is. It's selling completely out. And when blacks run to Jesus for help, they're selling the fuck out completely. I mean, they've completely lost their integrity as who they are and what they are. They have no identity if they're running to Jesus for their salvation. They are really fucking lost. They've lost respect for themselves, quite obviously, in my opinion. And you can see what the blacks have done with that religion, right? They took the Christian religion, what they turned into. God wants you to be rich. So in spite of the fact that Jesus says all over the fucking place, the odds of a rich man getting into the kingdom of God are those of a camel going through the eye of a needle, 5 times in the Bible, they turn religion into a Jesus wants you to be rich. I mean, how many black churches are all about this self-actualization, be a son of a bitch, get rich like the other capitalists so you can be a rapist and a pillager and a motherfucker like them? I mean, they have sold out completely. They wear the right clothes, they mimic the very behavior of the monster, of the worst of the capitalist enterprise that exploited the fuck out of them. And why shouldn't somebody say, that's fucking lame? I mean, really, is that so fucking offensive? And for atheists to complain is just even more ludicrous, because basically atheists, like sensible human beings, we should all be like sort of against the exploitation of gambling. We should be against the ignorance and stupidity of religion, no matter who has it. It should always be a bad thing. And sometimes it should be a humiliating thing. And for blacks, I think it should be a little bit humiliating. Alright, anyway, enough of that. But fuck you, Luddite. You pussy atheist shit fuckers. I don't know why. I don't know how I even got stuck in this community of non-atheists. These people aren't atheists. I mean, they come running to the defense of Christianity at every opportunity. And, but sure, certainly Mohammed's or, the Muslims are all whacked. But not the Christians. No, they're good moral capitalists. Fuck. This is such a joke. I mean, really. Nobody reads the Bible. No one even, I mean, it's just such a joke. If there really was a Jesus and he came back, I mean, he'd run into a brick wall as fast as he could just to kill himself. He'd just say, fuck, this is too stupid. I did all this shit for this? This is how it turned out? Holy fuck, did I fail. Anyway. Dismally. Yeah, you just wonder. I mean, at least we now are safer in this modern age because everything we do is recorded. and nobody can pervert the fuck out of it anymore. Nobody can make up lies about it anymore. You can go to the real deal, and so it's a little harder to pervert the story. So anyway, Conference Board did a video response to Mariana. She used to be from like Blogger Heads. That was it? Yeah, Blogger Heads. Anyway, just kind of lamenting the transition in YouTube. It really has become less of a place to have, there is less of this fellowship thing. It really has, but it has to, these are sort of inevitable conflicts that are going to arise, I think. And especially as the world gets more and more fucked up, you sort of got to be a side taker. You sort of got to, it's going to come to that. There is a hell of a lot of this, the divisiveness here. Why shouldn't I find anybody, atheist or not, who is, supports stalking black people and killing them? Reasonable behavior. It was self-defense. I was only stalking them. I don't want to get stuck on that subject, but that's just bullshit. It's just absolute bullshit. And so why shouldn't you just hate? Why shouldn't you find it impossible to get along with people who can defend that shit? If I lived next door to one of those jurors, I think I'd just every morning just go out and stalk her a little bit, just to give her some nerves, just to put it on her, and then see if she can do something offensive to me so I can claim self-defense. It's just amazing. Harass somebody until they fight back and then claim self-defense. And this is what we call rational civilization. No, I think that's just a preposterous, nonsensical failure. The most extreme of failures. Just pitiful. This is a sad world we live in. So anyway, Conference Report chimed in and just talked about YouTube and the mechanisms and how it's all kind of like, it's all about this corporate crap, and it's all really about the whole media enterprise, and the real, nobody pays much attention to the things I tell people, but, it's all about this advertising shit. And the fact is, the marketing for advertising, the market for it is a narrow market, and it's this lowest common denominator. It's the lowest subsection of the human race that is persuaded and compelled by advertising. And those are the people who will decide what content will look like. They don't care about people. The content producers do not give a fuck about having viewers who are not persuaded by advertising. So they have no interest in soliciting their participation. They want to get the people most swayable, most persuadable, watching their programming. So programming is going to keep getting dumber and dumber and dumber. And this is what the world you get when you have a capitalist system and nothing else. This is what this is the bottom you will crash into. It'll always become a business of racketeering. How can I sell the product? Not make a quality product, just sell a product. And that's all it's about. So, this is just a tragically bad world we live in. So anyway, then I make this little toolboxy thing, do this little bit of, compiles comments from the yayers and the nayers, as a group. More of this community stuff, not the high view people, but the regular talker types. And what participation do I get from the community? Let's see, 176 views, 9 likes, 4 dislikes. So 4 people disliked the video, so almost, half. I guess it's 1/3 of the total, right? Well, whatever. 1/4 of the, 1/3 of the total. Basically found it necessary to say there's something bad about even doing this. You make a toolbox that doesn't spam anything, doesn't take anything, doesn't demand anything, doesn't do a single negative thing, just provides more options, more features, more capacities, and somehow that's worthy of a thumbing down. And this is a community? A community of what? I mean, preposterous assholes. There's nothing else to say. You know, it has all these little features here and change the backgrounds, do different things. It's not one of the best features, actually. Gotta fix that one. But anyway, doesn't matter. Just using it as an example. So, I mean, you know, the community is dead. All we have is an audience of trolls, mostly. I mean, you know, take away the 50 people who participate that you know of, the names you know, the regulars, and everything else is just a bunch of trolls. They're just a bunch of assholes. And, you know, that's just how pitiful things are. A bunch of petty, malicious assholes. You know, Quinta kind of guys. So he posted a comment on somebody's video. It's like, what the fuck? That guy's still around? Amazing. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just amazing. So anyway, that's the state of things. So yeah, I mean, there's all these, you know, this is the page that does the toolbar thingy. So these are my videos. So all my videos are right here, easy to access. You know, these are all the anti-natalist types, so Bella and Old Fan and whatnot. And these are all the assholes like Conference Report, Luddite Returns, and Grey Text, all the non-atheist atheists, indecisive atheists. Paul's ego is in here, but he's really not a bad guy. He's not as big a fucktard as the rest of those assholes. These are my subscriptions on the efilist channel usually. And these are, you know, a select group of people who, you know, they're liked sections or whatever they like. But, you know, I have to include and exclude people from that list sometimes. I see somebody liked one of the Amazing Atheist video, X Machine Ghost. And you're just like, what, are you fucking insane? Yeah, right. Yeah, promote content that basically is shit. Very good. Great idea. So anyway, I think that's all that I really need to talk about here. I don't think there was anything else that was terribly important. There was some video that a couple people mirrored, you know, against that stupid, whatever his name is, the banana guy, griping about him, and it was sort of lame just in the sense that, yeah, they pointed out his salary and all that kind of stuff, and it was only $140,000. And then they had this undisclosed, or you know, some kind of category of like, you don't have to itemize or something, and it's like $1,400,000. Be kind of nice to know what all that shit was. Private plane or something? What the fuck? Rent? $1 million a year rent? I don't know. I didn't, yeah, whatever. So I didn't think it was very, frankly, I didn't think it was much of an argument. I just say it's pretty lame if you got to run an organization, you get $3 million in, and you can't manage more of a profit than $140,000. That's pretty much suck. So anyway, that's what I would say. So anyway, I don't even know what this. People just post comments here. So what is Gary B. Wee Lemon? Whatever. So anyway, so the map of reality thing is the thing I'm going to really try to work on. And yeah, I got all those project videos, and I really can't get to that shit. And I got Vlogger Dome to work on, and I can't get to that shit. And I got this programming shit to get to, and I can't get to that shit. I mean, it's just, I just got way too many things I'm trying to do. But the point is, it doesn't matter. I mean, trying doesn't get rewarded at all. It seems that most people, you're really going to have to drag them into the conversation with a hell of a more. You're going to have hookers and dancing girls and all that shit. You got to seduce them into the argument. So anyway, this sort of sucks. So till next time, such.